From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, January 6th, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.55 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,178 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.25 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $899. Antiwar.com reports out of Syria on Thursday claim that Hezbollah fighters blocked Russian military observers from entering an area around Metro Damascus to check on the status of military activities in Wadi Bardi with respect to the ongoing ceasefire. The Russian delegation arrived in the area after being invited by local residents, and Hezbollah stopped them when they arrived. Under the ceasefire deal, Russia and Turkey are guarantors of the deal, with expectations that they are supposed to monitor areas where fighting is ongoing, with factions not included in the deal. There's already speculation that this could threaten the ceasefire, or at least indicate some tension between Russia and Iran, both of which are backing Syria in the civil war, since Hezbollah is generally seen as one of Iran's proxies within the civil war. It is unclear, however, whether this is as major an issue as is being reported, or simply a one-off misunderstanding. Either way, it raises further concerns about the ceasefire in the near term, as rebels continue to present everything the military does as a violation. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports House Speaker Paul Ryan on Thursday said House Republicans intend to strip Planned Parenthood of funding as part of their promise to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Speaking at his weekly news conference on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., Ryan said the Women's Health Organization would lose millions of dollars in a fast-tracked bill. He said Planned Parenthood legislation would be in our reconciliation bill, referring to a congressional procedure that avoids a potential Senate filibuster and would require a simple majority instead of a 60-vote supermajority. Republicans, who control both chambers of Congress, have vowed to dismantle much of Obamacare this year. Ryan said on Thursday they'll provide a transition period before implementing new healthcare legislation. Democrats and pro-choice leaders gathered on Capitol Hill on Thursday to speak out against Republican efforts. Planned Parenthood President Cecile Richards said an attack on the Affordable Care Act is an attack on women's health, plain and simple. In 2014, Planned Parenthood said it received $553 million in government funding, according to the Washington Post. That represents about 40% of its overall funding. Planned Parenthood, however, is not allowed to use any federal funds for abortion, but they can use it for other health services like birth control. When her plush and comfy life suddenly and unexpectedly fell apart, Brooke and her dog Cloud set out to defy the odds. If this is a man's world, as they say, living on the streets is no place for a young woman. One day she awoke in the redwood forest and realized she had become a hobo. How to Be a Hobo by Brooke Willett is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports convicted murderer Dylan Roof said on Thursday tearful testimony by family members of those slain in the South Carolina church massacre was excessive and would prejudice jurors who will decide whether he should be sentenced to death. The 22-year-old, found guilty last month of killing 9 people at Charleston's Emmanuel AME Church in 2015, said in written motions it was unfair for federal prosecutors to pile on, given he has no plans to present any mitigating evidence. Roof is serving as his own lawyer during the penalty phase of his capital trial. Roof objected to prosecutors' initial plans to call 38 survivors and friends to detail the effects of the murders because that was the same number of witnesses who testified against Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh after he was convicted of killing 168 people. Roof said in one of several motions decrying prosecutors' tactics, "If I don't present any mitigating evidence, the victim impact evidence will take over the whole sentencing trial and guarantee that I get the death penalty." U.S. District Judge Richard Gergel urged prosecutors to pare down their witness list as jurors heard from victims' loved ones for a second day. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jay Richardson said prosecutors were making adjustments but noted the large number of victims resulted from Roof's choices. Roof offered no defense or apologies for his crimes during his brief opening statement on Wednesday, instead insisting to jurors he is not mentally ill. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.